It's hackers when you have big software. Technology does not fail because it doesn't work. It doesn't even fail because your people don't want to use it. We can work with that. It fails because you pay millions of dollars for these software subscriptions, AI, ERP, CRM, fill in the blank, just to get locked out of your own business data. I'm not even talking about a data breach. I'm talking about literal standard practice. Now, most businesses don't even know this is happening. And that's exactly how this shady ass system was designed. When you don't own your data or have access to it, you don't own your results. And that's honestly the core of my platform, is to expose these types of industry secrets before I continue to see businesses on a daily basis that quite literally don't have access to their data. Vendors taking the keys to your business. Forget about AI first companies. If you can't access that integration for your data, you don't even need to worry about AI because it's not possible. So as always, I think it's helpful to use real business examples when talking about these more complex type of subjects. The core of it is it happens to everyone. So your business is not immune to this. They call it licensing. Regulators call it antitrust here in the United States. So the biggest businesses at risk are in certain industries where they have industry-specific software, like Epic, which is services the healthcare community. Their EHR platform, which really acts as any sort of ERP. If you're in the healthcare industry, you have to look at Epic. It's just one of those things like Tyler Technology in the public sector. And so what they've done is they've been sued by healthcare startups because they're blocking customers' data from integrating with other platforms. They're saying, no, right? You have to use our technology and our solutions. You can't go outside. You can't be innovative. You can't build your own. You have to use ours because we control and own your data. And this is right on the heels of the SAP Celonis lawsuit that was in March of 2025. Their argument, SAP is prohibiting via very expensive fees customers from accessing their own data for Celonis, which is a process mining tool. And they specifically cite this tactic that vendors use all the time called indirect access. Think of this like the same model as a toll road. It blocks customers by charging millions in tolls for them to get access to their own data, even though they've already paid SAP millions for their licensing of their system. Oracle does the same exact thing. Their customers, you could find about 1,000 of them on TikTok, talk about all the time facing contractual barriers or functionalities where they can't export their own data. They argue here in the States that's anti-competitive, but let's just call it what it is. It's holding businesses ransom, but somehow it's legal. This is not modernization, my friends. This is full-on manipulation of your business. It's so dangerous. Businesses have just gone along with this for so long. It absolutely needs to be exposed. And if we don't start fighting back as a collective, they'll continue to take these businesses hostage. So here are some steps that you can take to ensure that you at least are covering your bases. Absolutely must finish your contract before you start any sort of implementation. This can be sneaky, right? Because a lot of times they're going to give you, oh, you know what? Let's just finish SOW1. We'll save all this for SOW2. No, we need to understand what we're doing for the next 3 years in this implementation, not a continuous discovery so you can sell us more things and trap us so that you have more and more access and ownership of our data. I still don't know where people think that you cannot negotiate with software vendors. Like, what are they, terrorists? We need to negotiate our data ownership explicitly. We have to understand exactly what that means in the contracting. Internal counsel is not built for this. You need an external specialist to do this. I rarely push external consultants on you guys, but this is the one time, pay the money. It's worth it. You need to demand those export rights at all points in this conversation. If there's ever a paywall around you exporting anything within your system, that should be a huge red flag. Because implementation is so painful, not a lot of people want to be like, what's going to happen when I offboard? You want to be like, I never want to do that. It's like moving, right? I'm never moving again. But the fact is that you need to figure that out within the contract before you sign it. What happens if I choose to go off the system? If you see the word indirect access fees, run for the hills. This is also a huge consideration for those system architects, solution architects, enterprise architects. If you're designing a system, you need to design it with data in mind. Avoid the vendor-specific middleware at all costs. You need API independence all day. You build them, you own them, period. Do not deviate from that, or you're going to be stuck in a situation that I talk to clients all the time where they have a custom integration and their choices are A, break their system, or B, live with their vendor forever whom they hate. And the last one I'll leave you with is ask your vendor hard questions. If you're uncomfy doing that, that's totally fine. That's why you have people like me that exist in the world that don't give a shit what vendors think of me, right? You need to ask those hard questions up front. Can we export all of our data on demand in a readable format? If there's any, well, it depends on the blah, yes or no, period. What happens if we end our contract? Oh, we hope that's not gonna happen. We all hope that's not gonna happen, okay, Chad? But it might happen, right? And I wanna know what happens if that's me in that scenario. Do your security controls. restrict our access to our data. Don't get confused. It's our data that we have access to at any point, under any circumstances, 24/7. You are owning your data. You're not renting it. If you have any other tips and tricks, please drop them in the comments. I think, again, the more that we talk about these things, the more that there's pressure to remove these really, honestly, criminal strategies from overall software implementation so we can get back to doing what technology is supposed to do, which is creating beautiful things.